In the episode Butopia, one of the Lub-Glubs is seen biting a large chunk off of a skeleton that is wearing a white bunny hat, in which is alarmingly similar to that of Fiona's white bunny hat in the gender swap episodes. Marceline wasn't born as a demon-vampire hybrid. Marceline became a vampire after being the ultimate vampire hunter and sucking out their souls after killing each one. After sucking their souls, she was able to steal their powers, thus becoming half vampire in a sense. During the intro song to Adventure Time, you can hear the clickety-clacks of a keyboard typing during the part where Jake's legs are stretched out while he's walking. This was actually done on accident as Derek Dryman, a writer for Adventure Time, was writing. They liked the take of the song so much that they decided to keep it in anyways. Ice King has a tattoo of a penguin on his left butt cheek. Finn's favorite food is meatloaf.
And Finn, your favorite food is meatloaf.
How did you?
Jake's insides are cursed to smell like vanilla, which Finn finds out after using him as a meat bodysuit.
Hey, Jake,
What?
why do the insides of you smell like vanilla?
Wizard put a curse on me.
Hudson Abadir, Marceline's father, is voiced by Martin Olson, the real-life father of Olivia Olson, who voices Marceline. Zach Shatta was the original voice actor for Finn when the pilot launched back in 2007. By the time the show was picked up by Cartoon Network, Zach was too old to play Finn. To compensate for this, they hired his younger brother, Jeremy Shatta, who became Finn permanently. Picking up on the last fact, Adventure Time is one of the only cartoons where the characters age. This is mostly due to the creators not wanting to have to recast Finn again, and given that he and Jeremy were aging at almost the same rate, this can be heard throughout the show. But most notably, when Finn and Jeremy were going through puberty, they would use the takes in which his voice would crack.
Keep it together, Chubby, because I think we found enough scrap.
Lumpy Space Princess harbors the ability to vomit rainbows. She does this within the Adventure Time video game, and also after eating a stick in the show. Finn is missing several teeth, which, according to Pendleton, is because he's never seen a dentist. There's an entire Facebook page dedicated to Pendleton's, the creator of the shows, beard. Marceline's dress in Henchman is confirmed to be made out of Y-wolf skin. Y-wolves in Adventure Time are similar to werewolves, which would make sense as vampires and werewolves commonly don't get along in most media. There's a fun fan theory that, as a baby, Jake's parents thought Finn was a mudfish, hence why they named him Finn. BMO has a heart made out of literal gold. There is a weird deer within Adventure Time that is seen with human hands and walking on hind legs. He also has an entire episode dedicated to him terrorizing the Gumball Kingdom. Fans theorize that this character is meant to either be or resemble the characteristics of a skinwalker, which is said to be a mythical creature who most often resembles a deer that terrorizes humans and is just over super creepy. Lady Rainicorn speaks Korean.
뭐가 있었을까? 우리 완전히 다 벗고 상추밥 미친 듯이 떠다닌 거 기억나?
Neil Patrick Harris voiced Prince Gumball in the gender swap episodes.
No, they can't even talk.
Pendleton claims that he wrote the entirety of Adventure Time as if he were playing a game of Dungeons and Dragons. The radiation in Ooo has caused changes to Finn's and every humanoid's anatomy, or what I like to call Finn just being wiggly. Lumpy Space Princess was the first person to call Princess Bubblegum PB, which later became a popular nickname for the princess within the show and for fans alike. Finn is created based off Bueno the Bear, who was a part of another early cartoon that Pendleton Ward had created. Visually, they look similar, but they share other similarities as well, the main one being that they both love to beatbox.
Thanks for helping me record, Finn.
No problem, Marceline.
Meow, the evil cat, is inspired by a little kid's idea that they sent into the writers. They liked the design/idea so much that they created the character who can be seen in Jake vs. Meow. Jake is classically trained in playing the viola.
Follow me, horsey.
Jake, it's not luring.
It was confirmed that the Ice King's pet penguin Gunter is any penguin that is closest to him, as he names them all the same with different pronunciations, hence why the pronunciation changes so frequently within the show. Gunther, Gunter, etc.
Gunter, something stinks. Gunter!
In reality, this was because of errors involving the name within the script. When BMO cracks their screen in BMO Lost, he closely resembles the Mac OS Finder logo. Scientific parasites live in the pockets of smart people within Adventure Time. One can also be seen in Simon's pocket. It can be assumed that they survived the Great Mushroom War. Marceline's outfit in Betty is the adult version of the outfit she wore as a child. Lumpy Space Princess appears to have the mouth of a sailor as she frequently uses the words lumps or stuff in place of swears.
I'm trying to help them, so don't lump and yell at me!
Princess Bubblegum shares a voice actor with Starfire from Teen Titans.
I have never seen such a whimsical device. Your friend just majorly malfunctioned.
In the pilot for Adventure Time, Jake is 28 years old. Jake, for some reason, has an eye patch collection, while Finn has a glass eye collection, which is equally as strange, yet they weirdly complement each other.
All I can find is your glass eye collection.
What about your eye patch collection?
Oh man, they're in mint condition.
Jake doesn't like touching Slime Princess, and he's so valid for that. But also, look how cute she is. Nickelodeon passed on Adventure Time twice before Cartoon Network picked it up, ultimately missing out on what became an all-time favorite for millions. Pendleton voices Lumpy Space Princess. The voice came from him cruising in his rolly chair while pretending to have a Valley Girl voice. Lady Rainicorn's belly is 15 feet long. Lumpy Space Princess is made out of irradiated stardust, but then again, aren't we all? Phil Face is a running gag within the show and is meant to look like the head designer of the show. The gender-swapped episodes, later becoming a spin-off, Fiona and Cake, are just retellings of Ice King's dreams. It is later found inside the show Fiona and Cake that Prismo is the real creator of the duo and that entire universe. Apparently, he got bored and enjoyed Finn and Jake's story so much that he created a universe inside of the Ice King's brain and broadcasted his fantasies into his subconscious while he was sleeping.
I didn't write those. Ice King wrote those.
Princess Bubblegum's favorite food is spaghetti, and she is seen eating it in multiple different episodes.
You're lucky I love spaghetti.
Princess Bubblegum can add or subtract years of her life depending on how much gum she has at the moment. This is shown when she's forced to become an early teenager after an accident that removed most of her mass. Following the fact, it is confirmed that Princess Bubblegum eats candy people sometimes to gain more candy mass, which is pretty dark for a character named Princess Bubblegum. Lady Rainicorn grinds her teeth in her sleep because she has recurring dreams about a zombie apocalypse taking place and killing her entire family. I'd probably have nightmares too. Princess Bubblegum has more outfits than any character on the show. There are 15 out of 283 where Finn doesn't make an appearance. Some of these being Orgalorg, Be Sweet, BMO, Daddy-Daughter Card Wars, and 5 short tables. Lady Rainicorn's design is heavily influenced by Japanese myth depictions of dragons, as they commonly don't have wings. The chanting of the ghosts in Heat Signature is actually a message to Patrick McHale, one of the storyboard writers and creative directors. If you play the scene backwards, it says, "Farewell, Pat. Good luck in New York. Come back soon."
Farewell, Pat. Good luck in New York. Come back soon.
Glob, who is mentioned several times throughout the show, is essentially supposed to be assumed as God / all-powerful being. Glob is actually Grob Gob Glob Grod, and is described as a deity-like creature that resembles chaos and idiocy, unlike the ultimate god that we perceive as God.
I'm a glob, I'm not ready!
Princess Bubblegum is 807 years old, a great example as to why you never ask a woman her age. Finn's original name in the pilot was Pen, named after Pendleton Ward. Adventure Time has been censored in Australia and the Philippines. They took out Finn saying "nard" and certain kick scenes. Peppermint Butler served as Hudson Abadir's assistant at one point. He is even seen as his caddy while Hudson plays golf. BMO and Lady Rainicorn are voiced by the same voice actor, Nikki Yang. She plays several other minor roles in some cartoons, such as Candy Chew from Gravity Falls. There is a secret GPS located in Finn's ear that Princess Bubblegum placed during Lady and the Peebles.
My GPS shows Finn and Jake over there.
Princess Bubblegum creates a new heart for Ice King after losing his in the same episode. She makes it out of maracas and toffee.
I made it out of Ricardio's sinews. and some toffee and maracas.
The executive producer originally denied the pitch for Adventure Time, claiming that it was 1 in 39 different pitches that were thrown at him. He later thoroughly emphasizes his admiration for Pendleton Ward's creative mind. The Cosmic Owl was created based off a shadow from a urinal at Pendleton's workplace. Finn often uses the famous magical book as a seat on the wet grass so he doesn't get his butt damp.
Except for like sitting on it when the grass is wet and stuff. Drink your fill of knowledge.
Princess Bubblegum was originally going to be named Betty after Pendleton's mother. BMO can be considered agender, as they don't quite have one. Depending on the storyline at the time, they can take on hyper-feminine or masculine traits, and is referred to as both throughout the show. Ice King's crown doesn't corrupt Jake because he already has his own magical powers. Pendleton Ward's favorite character is BMO, as is the majority of fans. Adventure Time wasn't originally supposed to be post-apocalyptic, but it was implied that something bad had happened to the residents of Ooo hundreds of years ago, within the episode Businessman. The writers ran with it, thus creating the lore we know and love today. Rule 63 states that in every universe that exists, a character of a certain gender there lives the opposite gender in a different one. The writers of Adventure Time didn't miss out on this rule when they created the opposite gender episodes, and later spin-off series, Fiona and Cake. The voice actor for Ice King, Tom Kenny, also most notably voices SpongeBob SquarePants. He is also known for his work in Rick and Morty, Clarence, and even things like Bob the Builder. Ward didn't want to create female characters that were stereotypical, nor did he want to create women as exceptional. Oftentimes within popular media, women are either basic or extraordinary. They aren't allowed to just be. Within Adventure Time, he writes his women the same way he writes his men: well-rounded, goofy, individual, and entertaining. Marceline's bass guitar is the family heirloom axe that she's supposed to use to rule the Nightosphere, but since she's not evil like her father, she uses it as a musical instrument instead. Finn and Jake were once featured in a Futurama episode.
What time is it? Time for you to shut up!
The relationships/love interests in Adventure Time are influenced by the Archie comics, specifically Archie and Veronica. Pendleton voiced Lady Rainicorn's universal translator device that allowed her to speak English.
I'll give you both a ride home.
Whatever you say, Grandpa.
Come on, my darling.
Adventure Time, along with Steven Universe, were banned in Kenya because of the LGBT themes. The Adventure Time cast records all their audio in a single room. This helps with line delivery and smoothness of each conversation. It also helps when Finn and Jake are yelling and or talking to each other.
What's he talking about, Finn?
Well, I was gonna give Marceline's idea a try too.
Her idea? What's wrong with my idea?
Princess Bubblegum not only knows Finn and Jake, but she actually knew them in an entirely different lifetime as Shoko and her white tiger companion. Shoko actually died in the same exact spot that Finn and Jake's tree that holds their treehouse grew. Finn has a vault inside of his head where he keeps his hidden embarrassing secrets and suppressed trauma. He also has knowledge of his past life and wisdom carried down from them. This somewhat resembles, at least the trauma part, certain psychological theories that are supported in real life regarding trauma and hidden memories. On average, it takes about 9 months to completely finish producing one singular episode. Talk about time and effort. The Great Mushroom War is said to have been a massive nuclear holocaust situation, as there is shown to be nuclear bombs in the opening sequence leading to images of the Land of Ooo. This also would explain strange animal adaptations within the post-Land of Ooo. Natasha, a storyboard revisionist and character designer for Adventure Time, is the creator of Puppy Cat, a relatively new animated series that has great potential and features many loving characters such as Puppy Cat, an adorable pet companion. Princess Bubblegum has a brother named Neddy that controls all of the flowing juice within the Candy Kingdom that provides life for the candy people. Neddy is not quite intelligent and only speaks through clicks and coos that Princess Bubblegum makes. There's a book within the show called Mind Games, which gives relationship advice for men trying to find a girlfriend. This book is written by J.T. Dogzone. It's theorized that this name is just an alias for Jake, as the author's photo looks to be Jake dressed up in a coat and a hat. Jake also accidentally almost calls himself JT in one episode, and he even keeps a copy of the book claiming it's just for laughs. Rebecca Sugar, one of the artists, is the creator of Steven Universe. Patrick McHale, as stated before, was one of the creative directors and writers. Went on to write Over the Garden Wall. Ice King is the only main character whose parents are not mentioned and or introduced within the show. There's a water park based off Cartoon Network shows. One section, featuring Adventure Time, is located in Thailand. In Taiwan, there's also freight trains painted as characters from Adventure Time. Jake appears to be naked throughout the show, but he actually wears pants made out of the webbing from spiders spun by pixies.
I have pants spun from spider webs by pixies.
Mr. Pig, Tree Trunk's husband, when asked about where he lives, he replied that he used to be homeless and would eat criminals as a profession. This is particularly interesting as pigs were used to dispose of criminals in movie classics like Hannibal, where crime bosses used pigs to dispose of corpses. This little pig wouldn't hurt anybody. Would it? Finn is colorblind. Ice King admitted to filling his bathtub up with milk and sitting in it like he is a magic angel. Jake is canonically Buddhist. Reincarnation is a common theme throughout the show, and Jake commonly mentions meditation, song, and inner peace. When Lemon Grab is squeezed, he oozes lemon juice, which is said to be his essence. Grody. Marceline isn't a traditional vampire since she eats the color red instead of always having to drink human blood. Ice King loves Marceline's music and is seen singing to it multiple times throughout the show. A cute little worm named Shelby lives inside of Jake's viola. Princess Bubblegum is created from a large gum substance called mother gum. The shack that Princess Bubblegum lives in after she is kicked out of the Candy Kingdom used to be owned by her uncle, that she also created once upon a time. Princess Bubblegum used to have an entire family of gum until they betrayed her, and she made them into stupid candy creatures as punishment. One of Finn's past lives was the Blue Comet, which is said to be the birth of all good in Ooo. Interestingly enough, Finn has a tattoo referred by Finn as resembling flaming sideways teardrop, which alludes to one of his past lives being the Blue Comet. The short film was an original pitch created by Pendleton Ward that was aired on Nicktoons and went on to be animated on other platforms like Random Cartoons. Regarding the short pitch idea, Marceline is the only main character who didn't appear within the original